Adam Torres casually strolled around in a convenience store, examining the wares, cutting the heads off disgusting, foul-odored human children and asking Blake what she thought they should buy. After sons ultimately demised at the hands of God, Adam and Blake had rekindled their relationship with the sparks of arson. Waves of heavenly fire descending from a new order, charring the flesh and incinerating the foundations of a lost, forsaken society. The White Fang had struck a powerful force, grown from the ashes of misogyny and plunder, to cast the glorious Ku Klux Klan into the void, the true guardians of morality and the true social order commanded by the Lord, who would enforce the laws of social justice or furnish humanity with the grim reminder of inherent superiority. The Ku Klux Klan had been the driving force of balance and harmony in the world, and without their random lynchings, the faunest slave market, or their reality television show, the world began to descend into chaos, food shortages, natural disasters, slow internet. For as far as anyone could guess, the second cataclysm had already started. Definitely this one, Blake said as she put one particular brand of cleaning agent back onto the shelf, after witnessing that the chemicals were not strong enough to clean the blood spurting out of the child's neck off of the floor. An elderly, physically impaired woman hobbled down the aisle and slipped up the blood and chemicals, breaking her back and converting her to the cursed church of paraplegia. The old lady's screams for mercy were quickly silenced as Adam tore off all her clothes and ate her before taking her wallet and donating the money to the Pope and using the credit card to track down her family and kill all of them so that they would not sue him for reckless endangerment. He proceeded to use all of the cleaning agents to squeegee all the bloodstains. The blessed OxyClean rained from above the heavens. The two filthy-ass faunas headed to the checkout with 5 billion bottles of OxyClean
and an apple.
The disease-ridden blood of old people had gotten Adam super horny. As said, appendages grew out of his head even further. The old cashier man just shook his head, lamenting over the sick perversion of the youth these days, and remembering a time when he owned his very own dust shop. The days in his still really fucking old but younger youth, before that group of shitheads robbed his store, and then his truck got molested by a robot, and then his shit broke, and then his noodle stand caught fire and killed 50 men, and he had to buy all the family's new children. The tears streamed down his face as he thought about his job as a cashier, the only way to make ends meet. The moistness trickled down, and he used his eye secretions of sorrow as the world's saltiest lubricant, as he whipped out his shriveled, meter-long old-person dong and stroked it to Blake, removing her clothes and bathing in the blood of innocents who deserved a violent death.
Adam was going for the pussy.
The old cashier guy put his hands into a meat grinder to resist further temptations. But it was too late. The theory of mind over matter was proven true that day as his late psychic powers activated and his dick went into autopilot as his mind jerked it off, firing a dense cannon barrage of gnarly little old geezers that destroyed the fire station and ran over hundreds of people in frequent car accidents, unable to drive properly. The old man, realizing what he had done, attempted to commit seppuku before remembering his hands were dead. Had no choice left but to retire to the retirement home for old people and cry so much that he would later die from dehydration, leaving a withered, disgusting corpse for our tax dollars to clean up and take to the dump. Meanwhile, Adam snorted like a bull and was preparing to penetrate Blake when Nora flew in from the sky and knocked his sword out of his grubby-ass shit hands. Unable to penetrate Blake without his sword, Adam curled up into a ball and attempted to roll away from the scene as Nora stole all 5 billion bottles of OxyClean.
And the apple.
Maybe we can bribe the headmaster,
Nora questioned, arms unable to fold all the fucking OxyClean. Nora crushed Adam's apple in between her thighs and made the sweet laugh of a fallen angel as Adam began to choke on the blood seeping out of the hole in his throat.
Trust me, Ren, I know what I'm doing,
Nora said as she took the OxyClean and disinfected Adam's throat. Nora knew that STDs were serious business and did not want Ren to contract Ebola or some shit, as he shoved his cock into the wound and down Adam's esophagus,
Now that's what I call a deep throat.
Nora cheered as she poured copious amounts of maple syrup into Adam's mouth as Blake escaped to the side. Gallons of OxyClean was injected into his body and set on fire. Adam shuddered against the impact of the blast of Wren's semen filling his entire body at maximum capacity and extinguishing the eternal burning. OxyClean, Wren's semen, and maple syrup, the key ingredients of the elixir of life, all clashed together in the stunning moment of the century as Adam lost all access to the ambient oxygen around him and asphyxiated. Nora, a kind and considerate angel, knew that Blake would always want Adam close to her, so Nora and Wren dumped the sticky liquid-filled corpse into Blake's litter box. Having completed yet another adventure for the good of mankind, Nora and Wren set off to OxyClean up the city. To be continued, you fuckheads.